Welcome everyone to Alpha Omega Winery, located in the beautiful Rutherford appellation of Napa Valley. It's a new year, a whole new selection of club wines to feature for you all, and we are very excited to have you all joining us today. I'm your virtual ambassador, Barrett Spiegel, and this is the first wine club release of 2023, and it's going to feature two of our classic wines at Alpha Omega, our signature Chardonnay 2020 and our proprietary red blend from the 2020 vintage as well. A great release to start the new year. And joining me here once again, fresh off a successful 2022 harvest, we have winemaker Matt Brain.
Great to be here.
Happy to have you, Matt.
Excited.
And assistant winemaker Melissa Paris.
Yep.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Very excited to have you guys to taste and discuss these wines together. Also joining us once again, our executive chef, Chef Jesse McQuarrie, is here again, and Chef has a whole new lineup of recipes and food demonstrations for us to feature in 2023. Matt, would you like to go back and check with Chef and see what he's got going on?
Absolutely, Chef.
Let's see it, because it looks delicious.
We can
already.
smell the aromas from here. As always, talk to us a little bit about what we're doing today.
All right, Matt, today we've got braised beef cheeks with black garlic and cipollini onions. And then we're going to cover those. We're going to cover Parisian gnocchis with the beef cheeks and some caramelized squash.
Looks amazing. A great dish for the cooler seasons and a great match for both of the wines we have today, because we've got a lot of beautiful savory characters in kind of the beef cheeks and the savory fattiness. Really matches well to the bright acidity of the Chardonnay, but also to the nice kind of soft tannins and the bitterness of the proprietary red.
Absolutely. Yeah, the black garlic is it gives it kind of a mommy-ish vibe at the end.
Yeah.
It finishes with that. It's going to be amazing.
Well, it certainly has our taste buds flowing. We're going to go talk about a few wines, and then
Can't
we'll
wait.
circle back and see how it's
I'm
coming
going to
around.
keep cooking. I'll be with you guys in a bit.
Yum, yum. 'Tis the season for these amazing hearty dishes. I cannot wait. Yeah. I can't wait.
Smells amazing.
Yeah. So excellent. Thank you, Chef. Looking forward to checking back in with that recipe here in a bit. But we're going to get started. We're going to get right into it. And I'm very excited, guys, about tasting and discussing our signature Chardonnay, the new vintage, the 2020 vintage. This is a wine for me that every year somehow it keeps getting better and better. The quality gets better. The balance gets better. So let's dive into this and talk about the Chardonnay 2020 to our guests here.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, 2020 was a fantastic year for white wines. It was a nice dry start, a dry winter, so we actually had some really nice kind of balance and stress to the vines early in the year. You folks know that we source our Chardonnay from our Napa Valley, from two of the cooler climate areas of Napa, on the top of Mount Veeder and also down in Carnero. So we have this beautiful, bright acidity. But as you say, Barrett, I think we've got some incredible fruit-forward flavors here, but I think that the elegance and the balance of this wine continues to evolve as well. As Paris and I get more and more familiar with the sites that we get our fruit from, and I think you nailed it. I think it's really, really a high-impact, high-character wine, but it's lovely and balanced and beautiful as well.
And the color on this is unbelievable. Perfect golden color. That's always a plus. Nice little imitation into the wine. Going back to kind of to balance in that discussion, Paris, what I love of what you guys are doing in the cellar, you and your team, is the barrel program has sort of shifted a little bit from years past, where you're doing a lot of fermentations in larger oak barrels.
Yeah, and our punch-ins, right? Yeah. For 20, we kind of, Matt and I really got introduced to these vineyards in the Chardonnay in 2020 when it was our first time here. Yep. So for this particular wine, we definitely were using punch-ins at the time, but not as much as we wanted to.
Right.
So as we've kind of moved and adapted a little bit, we kind of bring a little bit more into each vintage. And this last year, we really nailed it. So with this guy, the punch-in about 50-50, would you say, Matt?
Yeah, I would say so. Maybe a little bit more on the punch, but very close.
Yeah, and it was good because not only were we able to kind of figure out what the vineyard wanted to say to us and what that fruit expression wanted to do, but we were also able to kind of dial in that oak profile and figure out, okay, well, where do we want to go with it? This 2020, I think, is beautiful because we were really, really conservative with that oak selection, and we really wanted the fruit to shine. We wanted to learn from the fruit. We wanted the fruit to kind of sing for itself. So that's what's represented in the glass here.
Yeah, and I think, great points, Paris, but I also think that because both of us have made a lot of Chardonnay from very cool climate areas, that we looked at Napa Chardonnay as having all the weight and character that we would want, and we were really focused on keeping that freshness and that acidity, and that punch and aging really helps with that. You know, the CO2 stays in solution longer. It just keeps things tighter and fresher, and I think that's kind of also one of the reasons that things kind of keep moving towards that beauty kind of balance.
I mean, this wine it's bright and fresh, but it's also got a nice richness and a creaminess. Crazy good balance. I want to hear from you guys because I love kind of listening to what winemakers taste when they taste a lot of the wines here. What do you guys, Matt, what do you get out of this wine that you really, really love?
I get very elegant, you know, tree fruits to start, pear and apple, but not jumping away from the oak. The oak is there.
Right.
There's a tiny bit of a creamy character that comes from a little bit of malolactic. It's fruit forward, but it's really in harmony with the oak, with the creaminess. And it presents an aroma, a bouquet that's very elegant and polished in my mind.
Yeah, they kind of remind me of those more kind of high-end dessert flavors that you would get. You know, more of the meringue, the brioche.
Pastry cream.
Yeah, pastry cream, that kind of lemon, but not too far over.
Yeah.
It's not yuzu, it's not that sharp, but it's got that roundness to it. So yeah, that I think more of like that baking elegance is what you get.
Yeah. Ooh, we might need to have Chef Jesse.
I
put
love those
together-
descriptors.
Yeah, let's
Absolutely.
Can you
Right
whip
up
up
my
a
alley.
meringue real quick?
Yeah.
Oh, holy cow! But I mean, you're spot on. Meringue, brioche, like freshness and zestiness, citrus, but smooth and creamy. I'm going to be drinking a lot of this wine, I feel, in the next year.
Everyone will be.
And I know a lot of our loyal following will as well. I mean, the Chardonnay program at Alpha Omega, and we say this often, somehow it just keeps getting better and better. The vineyards are getting better and better. The single vineyards, our reserve Chardonnay. But I always like to go back to the classic expression, our signature Chardonnay 2020, this vintage. And this is going to be a case buy. I mean, this is going to be a stock up Chardonnay that is going to treat you well for years to come.
Oh man, absolutely. A food-friendly wine, a nice pairing wine, but also a great single glass, you know, home from work, you want a nice crisp white. I think it's very versatile, and agreed. I think I'm going to be drinking this one through the winter and spring.
Excellent, excellent. I'm liking this a little chilled, but it could probably taste delicious a little warmer as well.
Oh yeah, it's just going to start popping out.
Yeah.
All the different flavors that come out, all the complexities are just going to keep coming out of the glass as it warms up a bit.
Excellent, excellent. All right, folks, you start the evening with the 2020 signature Chardonnay. And then, you know, as you're preparing your meal, as you're preparing your food, maybe you're dabbling into our next wine here. Let's get right into it. This is our one of our classic blends, our proprietary red blend, also from the 2020 vintage. Very excited about this wine. The proprietary red, everyone, is kind of turning into this blend at Alpha Omega where we're running out of it quicker and quicker. That's just the truth. Always one of my favorite blends. And guys, the 2020 vintage is a really interesting blend compared to years past. So let's talk about that right away, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, as you say, Barrett, this prop red has been a favorite of ours and a favorite of our loyal fans for a long time. It's one of our original blends that we've put together. And Alpha Omega has a great tradition of blending here. You know, you think about our flagship Cabernet is a barrel selection blend of different AVAs and different single vineyards, and has really led the charge, kind of Alpha Omega's presence in the industry here. And this prop red has always been one of my favorite blends. You know, it is rich purple fruit. It tends to be on the riper side, very soft, silky tannins, even when we release it. So there's no real wonder why it's one of our favorites from our wine clubs and our customer base.
Yeah. 2020 vintage. One of those vintages where, you know, the reality is, you know, there was some struggle at the end of the vintage, and the amount of red wine here at Alpha Omega is at an all-time low. Whites obviously came in nicely. The reds, you guys did an unbelievable job with the 2020 vintage. I mean, really, this wine is incredible. So maybe we'll talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
2020
and what you guys were able to do to still produce amazing red wines.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things that we had to do. You know, we had to be really smart. We had to be smart on our picks. We had to be smart on innovation. We had to be smart on strategy. But for the most part, you know, Matt and I came very, very loaded with all kinds of education and hands-on experience dealing with anything that Mother Nature wants to get us, but especially for the stuff that we dealt with in 2020. So it didn't feel like a huge undertaking in a weird way. I mean, we knew we had a lot of work to do, but we also felt very confident, and we knew that we were going to be able to have some amazing, amazing wines out of this. So a little bit always in the back of my mind, I mean, I knew we were going to make great wines. With this prop, I thought that it was going to be a challenge with just the fact that everything was so limited, that I wanted to make sure that the prop red really was something that was going to be elevated. It wasn't just going to be a blend that just happened to go together and wasn't going to sing, you know? So as I'm smelling this and looking at my notes on the varietal breakdown that we'll get to, it's just jumping out in the glass, right? Everything about it is just singing. It's got all the fruit qualities there. It's got the reds, it's got the blues and the black. So yeah, it's just making me feel really, really happy that we did a great job.
Yeah, congratulations, Paris. A tough vintage in some regards, but as you say, we were really ready to hit the ground running. We knew the challenge at hand and we knew how to tackle it. I think one of the things that really helped with this blend is some of the varieties that make up the majority of this blend come off the vine nice and early, like Merlot and Malbec, which make up the two biggest components of this wine. Those actually come off much earlier than Cabernet Sauvignon in generally, and did this vintage as well. So we were able to get those off the vines before any real drama started. Those are in-house, tucked away nicely. So we did have some great varietals to work with. As Paris mentioned, across the board, not a lot of volume to work with. And you've heard us talk about it before, that of all the wine we made, really only a very small percentage of that made it to the bottle, because we were very, very picky about which lots we wanted in our blends, and also the wines that we were confident were going to age very nicely, at least in the midterm. So a challenging year to some degree, but I feel like in many cases around here, our preparation, the passion of our team, our foresight, and also our synergy of our group working really well together helped us get through this challenging vintage to make incredible wines like this that I'm really excited to share with everybody out there.
Oh my gosh, I mean, to your point, you hit it spot on. Red fruit, black fruit, and that little hint of blue fruit, which we love.
Explosive, right?
We love the layers.
Yeah.
Explosive on the nose,
Explosive.
fruity and floral. Let's dive into the blend components on this. Let's get specific, if you guys don't mind. It's kind of fun when everybody knows what exactly went into this blend. All 5 Bordeaux varieties.
Yeah, all 5. So 42% Merlot, like Matt said, Merlot dominant. And then right behind it is Malbec at 24%. We've got Cab Sauv at 18, which is giving us the powerhouse and the structure that we needed for it. Cab Franc at 15%. Got another beautiful varietal that I wish we had more of.
Yes.
And then just a little bit of Petit Verdot, only 1%. And it's really, really minimal, the Petit Verdot that's in there.
Excellent.
Yeah, as always, I think almost always, all 5 represented, which is always I think it's always a challenge. And, you know, to be able to put them all together in harmony. And as Barrett mentioned, the variety breakdown is quite a bit different than previous vintages. But with this blend, with all the different vineyards that we source from, we were able to come back to kind of a common theme with the aromas and characters of the wine, even though the varieties were quite a bit different this year.
Yeah.
Tell you guys, one thing I'm loving about the 2020 vintage is you guys basically made wines that suit my palate and my preference. They're drinkable right now.
Right?
Yeah.
They're ready to go. And
Just
maybe we
for
should
you,
talk
Barrett.
about that, because I say that about all of our wines, I really do, because the way you guys barrel ferment, the way you produce the wines here at Alpha Omega, you don't need to be scared of them right when you get them fresh out of an allocation, but this is a vintage on the reds, correct me if I'm wrong, that is going to be very accessible young.
Yeah. Both accessible young, Barrett, we made them that way. And there's a number of ways that winemakers can influence kind of the aging and the approachability of the wine. Number one is just not extracting as much tannin, allowing that tannin profile to be a little softer in the youth.
Yeah.
That helps a lot. Racking, giving the wine the right amount of air as it's aging to soften those tannins. You know, some wines we want to take to bottle with some grip. You know, the single vineyards, the Era, obviously, wines that people are going to put down. Or we can rack them a little more, get a little bit more oxygen in and soften those tannins so when it hits the bottle, it's smooth and silky. So we inch the wine in those directions through this vintage. And as you say, Barrett, wines are showing really well now. We wanted to make that a priority. Very nice aging for the midterm, but we are recommending these 2020s. Keep your eye on them closely and drink them when you think they're at their peak. And we kind of made them to be consumed in the midterm, for sure.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, and friends, if you have any questions about, when should we be drinking this, please reach out.
Oh
Matt
my
and I
goodness,
love
yes.
answering those kind of emails or, however you want to ask your questions, whatever platform you want to choose. We have no problem trying to give you the best advice for that.
Yep.
My answer is right now.
Yeah.
My answer is get it, drink it, crack it, decant it
Yeah.
for a little bit, and then put together whatever he's putting together
Yeah.
right now
Yeah.
because
getting
this
waves.
smells amazing.
Waves of aroma over here.
But real quick, again, the 2020 vintage, both of the signature Chardonnay and the proprietary red blend, ladies and gentlemen. First wine club release of 2023. What a great way to kick off the new year with two of the classics. These aren't going to last long. Again, our Chardonnay here moves at ridiculous rates now. The word is out that Alpha Omega is producing some of the best Chardonnay in Napa Valley. And with the 2020 vintage and the lack of reds, you will not see this proprietary red around for long either. And really, the proprietary red is just a wine that is just gone here at Alpha Omega. So, two delicious wines, and we can't wait any longer on what we have going on behind us.
So good.
Matt, can you go check in with Chef Jesse and get an update here?
I will. When are
on,
they going to
on
invent
this
some sort of
amazingness?
smell-o-vision where we can
Smell-o-vision.
We need smell-o-vision. We need to
We say
create
that
that.
every time. We need
to
it.
the people at home. Chef, we're just getting assaulted by these aromas of savory, rich meat
you
and
smell the brown
butter,
butter? Yeah.
and pasta. It's amazing. What are we doing?
Okay, so I've created our Parisian gnocchis, which are different than an Italian gnocchi, which are potato-based. These are flour, water, and butter-based. And that's all in the recipe. It's really easy to put together. We pipe them out into hot water until they boil, until they float for a few minutes. And then we cool them off. And now I'm browning them in butter. As you can see, look at the beautiful color on those.
Amazing.
And all that yummy butter goodness. And the braise on this is they're beef cheeks, which I would recommend if you have a local Latino market. Beef cheeks are always available. At some of the higher end butchers will have them as well, but most Latino markets and Asian markets, beef cheeks are almost always available. They're very popular in Latin culture.
Yep.
So we've got the beef cheeks. It's all in the recipe. It's like a braise like you would do braised short ribs, basically. We've added black garlic as a twist, which is a barrel-aged garlic that usually ferments for about 6 months. It creates this kind of, it becomes black and has this kind of molasses flavor.
Beautiful color.
You can see
it smells incredible.
that's the black garlic.
Wow.
We've braised these with tomatoes, cipollini onions, black garlic, and some stock for 3 hours. It's very simple directions. I've tried to make it as easy as possible for you guys. And quite simply, we take these brown gnocchis, which came out epic.
Oh my God, they're
The
perfect.
brown butter kind of creates its own beautiful sauce and bridge. And then beef cheeks.
Beautiful.
It's perfect for this time of year. Coming out of all your holiday festivities, this is kind of mixing it up, but it still has that wintry, bringing in the new year vibe.
Amazing.
And then if you want to get fancy with it, we can take some of the fennel fronds that we took that are actually in the gnocchis that we've accented and scatter some of the fennel fronds around. Long cut chives to make it look a little bit chefy. And yeah, and then that's it.
Beautiful.
Maybe a little Parmesan if you'd like.
Uh-huh. You know what I love about this dish, Chef, and the fact that you're presenting this recipe is I love beef cheeks and I love gnocchi, but I don't think I've ever made either of them from scratch at home.
But this is an easy
For
recipe.
some reason,
Yeah.
you know? And so folks, you've got to check out these flavors. You know this is gonna come together with the right kind of flavors and textures to match with these wines. Chef, an amazing,
You bet.
amazing recipe. Thank
Yeah,
you
this
very
is good.
much.
This is, yeah, it's really good.
Oh my goodness. And a beautiful match. I've just been dunking my nose into this wine as I'm sitting here. Fantastic, Chef.
Thanks.
Cheers. Thank you
Thanks,
so
Matt.
much.
My pleasure.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's one that's going to have to get queued up in my home.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
sure.
Got
We're
to try it.
queuing that one up.
Got to try it. This is going to go down as one of the greats. Right up there with the lamb Wellington.
Ooh.
The earthiness of these beef cheeks go great with this wine.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh,
yeah.
can't wait.
Incredible.
We're gonna dive into that here in a second. I might need a reload on my proprietary and my Chardonnay here. Thank you, Chef Jesse.
bet.
Amazing demonstration there. I would like to add to that, all of our guests joining us, we are gonna post an additional recipe for this wine club allocation, a second recipe that I think you guys will like and will go nicely with the Chardonnay. So. Those are going to be posted on our website, aowinery.com. Under the Wine Club section, you'll see a section that says View Wine Club Shipments, and that has all of the videos that we've done over the last year and a half or so together, and food demonstrations, discussion, tasting analysis on the Wine Club allocation. So if you're new to the Wine Club here at Alpha Omega, and you're curious on some of the wines that were released last year, and some of the things we have coming this year, go check that out, because there's food demonstrations, there's great wines.
It's a great resource and fun.
Yeah,
much,
it's fun.
Much more fun
Yeah.
than just looking at it.
Give the recipes a crack, tag them and post pictures on social media. We'll reshare, and that's what it's all about, eating and drinking and having a good time doing it. Excellent. Some other things to mention for this coming year, 2023, so many amazing events. I'm going to dive into that in a second, but I do need to say a few things about our wine club. The club this year, guys, incredible club releases that we're going to feature every other month here at Alpha Omega. Check out our website, aowinery.com. Click on the Wine Club tab at the top and look at some of these offerings that are coming down the pipeline. Amazing vintages coming up. We've always been known to dive into the library a little bit here at Alpha Omega.
Recently, more than ever.
More than ever, right? I mean, it's great because we want some of our new members, the people that are new to Alpha Omega, to be able to taste some of these wines in the past that are singing right now.
I was gonna say, it's such a great time to be a wine club member, because not only are you getting amazing new releases, but you have access to stuff that you don't normally have access to, just because we're diving in. So.
Yep.
Exactly. Another great benefit of the Wine Club, you're going to get first crack on a lot of great events coming up this year. Guys, 2023, you know, I sort of said 2022 was kind of our breakout year, but I think 2023 even more.
More back
Yeah.
into full
More.
swing.
Back into full swing. We've got, I mean, real quick, just to peel off a few events, go to our website, aowinery.com, under events to see the full lineup, because there's so many, but I just want to feature a few right now. First off, Premier Napa Valley in February. Huge week of events here at Alpha Omega.
much fun.
So much fun. Songwriters in Paradise, Sip Napa. That is one that I think is a can't miss. If you love music, you love intimacy, and you love like food, wine, small setting, come and visit us here in April and see these amazing songwriters perform.
Honestly,
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. One of the most amazing, small, intimate concerts I've been to in my life. It was just incredible.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Can't wait. That's also in April. And then end of April, last weekend of April, ladies and gentlemen, the Era weekend is back.
finally.
Era weekend.
Yay.
Oh my goodness! Like I'm so excited. I can't even.
I've heard
I
so
can't
much about
even
it.
It's huge.
fathom
Yeah.
the amazingness
huge.
that it's going to be, because
Yeah.
this is the first time that Matt and I are going to be able to see it in all its glory. So yeah, I'm really looking
And
forward
meet
to it.
everyone.
Exactly.
You know?
Meet
I can't wait.
exactly.
Yeah.
The
Everyone.
return of Era Weekend here at Alpha Omega, the last weekend in April. Everyone, check your calendars for that. Mark that off right now and start booking your trips, because that's going to be a great time here at Alpha Omega. And then also, Air Elite members with us, we've got some amazing exclusive tours and luncheons scheduled at some of these amazing vineyards that we're working with for 2023. So, and many more events, many more club events, many more luncheons, many more dinners. So go to aowinery.com, click under the events tab. Start planning out your year 2023 with us here at Alpha Omega, and we're looking forward to having you out here at the winery. We're so glad that you guys joined us for this video. Enjoy these two wines in our first club release, the Chardonnay 2020, the Proprietary Red 2020, and get excited for some other great wines. If you're not in our club and you're watching this video, we would love to have you join. You can sign up on our website under the Wine Club section. And we would love to have you some amazing club benefits that are featured here on our website. But guys, this is amazing. The food is, I'm ready to leave it with everybody here and try some of this food. Matt Brain, thank you so much.
Great to be here. Lots of fun.
Yeah, Melissa Paris, you guys are the best.
Thank you.
Amazing winemakers here. And last, certainly not least, amazing Chef Jesse McQuarrie.
Yeah.
Chef,
Thanks,
guys.
Chef.
Cheers,
Incredible.
sir.
Incredible.
my friend, we're coming your way here in 5 seconds to eat that
Come on
amazing
back.
food. Right on. Take care, everyone. We'll see you again here in a couple months. Cheers.